is up, my movie fanatics? All good things come to a close. I say this all the time. You guys know I say it. It is the last day of I Love the 80s week with Kip Wild. Sorry guys, but we had a good time. It was a good run. And I wanted to go out with a bang. So we talked about actors, actresses, soundtracks, quotes. We've covered it all. So now I wanted to do my top 10 movies from the 80s. This is my opinion. First off, I wanted to start with saying this was not easy because you guys know I have an obsession with 80s movies, like all of them, plain and simple. So just wanted to, kind of take this list with a grain of salt, I guess you would say, because I kind of did this list in a sense where if I'm going to have a movie night and I'm going to sit down with my friends and I want to have an 80s night, what movie am I going to watch? What movie will my friends enjoy? What do I like? What's easily quoted? What's funny, entertaining? It's not like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of movies out there that I would, if I redid this list, it would be different from the first time. I actually redid this list 3 times and it changed every time. Because there was like 7 movies on there. I was like, oh no, I really like that. But I've seen it like only twice. So this list was kind of based off of like 3 things. Entertainment factor. The group, like if I could have a group of people watch it, like do they enjoy it as much? And how many times have I seen it? If I've seen it multiple times, yeah. That's what I'm going off of. And a lot of this kind of opened up movies, like other 80s movies. Like these were like the root movies, I guess you could say, that I started watching first, and then like I went on to like bigger and better things, and So let's get going. At number 10 is Child's Play. Why Child's Play? I love creepy horror, and there's something creepy about dolls in general, and he is the creepiest of all dolls. Chucky, hands down, is the creepiest of all dolls. Not only can I watch the first one millions of times, I can watch them all millions of times, except for The Bride of Chucky. That one's kind of weird. And one where he has a kid. Yeah, Seed of Chucky. But I can watch like 1, 2, and 3 all the time, and Curse of Chucky all the time. And they're great movies to just watch with your friends, especially people that are creeped out by like dolls, clowns. And I remember the first time I saw this film, I wanted to see it again, and then my mom told me like there was like 2 and 3, and I was like, oh! So I watched this movie a lot when I was younger, and it seems that even to this day when I watch it, it gets better. At number 9 is, I would consider, a great movie night movie. If you want something funny, but you want something classic, you put in Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy is a favorite actor of mine, but he's so quick, and I don't even know if they actually scripted this movie or not. If somebody could let me know, because the way he speaks in this movie, it's like blah 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 blah. He gets what he wants when he wants. Even the acting alone in this movie, if it had nothing else, the acting alone was awesome. But on top of that, you have a great cast, you have a great soundtrack. You really can't go wrong with this movie at all. I've known people that are like, it's not my favorite movie, but I love the part when. If you have a movie that you go, I didn't like it, but I love this part, I think movies like that are going to stick with you. So, great movie. I've watched it a million times with my friends. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. What do you guys think of Beverly Hills Cop? I would like to know. At number 8, got me obsessed with Bruce Willis, and that is Die Hard. I love Die Hard. I love the action. You see young Bruce Willis when he was in his prime, when he was a badass. He blows stuff up. It was one of those movies that I could never get enough of. And that movie led me into, this is one of these movies that led me into bigger, better movies. Let's say Scarface. That's up there too. That led me into Scarface. But actually I've seen Die Hard more, and I know more people that enjoy the series more. Not that I'm saying that Scarface is not an amazing movie, because it is, and I love Scarface. But Die Hard got me into that film. I did not see Scarface until I was a little bit older, actually. Like, I'm talking like, 14. I think I saw Scarface for the first time, 15. I saw Die Hard when I was like 11. So Die Hard opened me up to the action world, to all the most amazing movies. So that is why it's number 8. And I love Bruce Willis as well, big fan. At number 7 is The Shining. You guys know I'm not big on horror, but this is the movie that is one of the movies that really keeps me like, horror will come back. Jack Nicholson, first off, I love pretty much every movie he's ever done, but you see a new side of him. And you see like the really creepy, eerie, like almost like he's like a whole different person like you've never seen in this film. I love the storyline. It kind of throws some curves your way and you're kind of confused at parts. It's kind of mystery. I love the just constant eerie factor of it. I love the quotes. It's very easy to quote. We've already talked about that a few times. And once again, it's another one of those classic movies. If your friends are not into classics, it's a good classic horror to sit down and watch. At number 6 was the first Sylvester Stallone movie I've ever seen, and it is Rambo First Blood. I love First Blood. I love Rambo in general. I love the Rocky series. Once again, guys, I'm not saying that Rocky's not, Rocky is another great film, but this was the movie that introduced me to Stallone. This is the movie that made me fall in love with Stallone. Oh, I just love how he just plays like a badass MacGyver. Not that MacGyver wasn't a badass, but like a hardcore MacGyver. Like, you see things that you've never seen before in movies. I love how he, hate to say this, but I love how he gets creative with killing. I love how he's a survivalist. Like, he does anything it takes to survive. He has such high willpower, and then you see that willpower and that survival instinct again in Rocky. It was just, I could watch Rambo any day of the week, anytime. Now we're into the top 5. At number 5 is something different. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I know a lot of people have. One of my friends is Weekend at Bernie's. Why? Because it is a great movie to watch with friends if they've never seen it. Weekend at Bernie's is a very simple concept movie. This is what it is in a summary. 2 nerd guys that are in the bottom of the totem pole at their job find out that someone's stealing money from their job. There's just money missing. They're figuring out why. They take it to their boss, Bernie Lomax, and he is killed. Well, they know they found something, so they want to keep him alive, and what they do is they walk around with his body, no joke, and they do the craziest things with it. It is hands down just pure entertainment from start to finish. You do not see anything better. Now, they also came out with Weekend at Bernie's 2. It is a good film, but towards the end it gets a little bit ridiculous with some of the things that they do, because they're still taking Mr. Lomax around, like carrying him around. But overall, Weekend at Bernie's is a good laugh. It's simple, you don't need to think. It's a great popcorn film. It's very just quotable too, and the acting is insane. It's very natural acting. Like, it's not even like you're watching a movie half the time. At number 4 is Christine. I remember the first time I watched this movie, I was very young with my mom, and it scared the crap out of me. It is about a possessed car. I mean, that's original in my book, pretty original. We've seen, like, you see possessed people, you see possessed houses, but not a car. This car is the killer car. It is scary. The car itself is beautiful. The acting is just insane. Love the driver. I can't think of his name right now, but when he gets possessed, you see, like, they put the makeup on his eyes and he gets real, like I'm a zombie. Like, great film. Keeps you on your toes. Is it scary now? Nah, not compared to what's out there today. But it's the idea of the story. It's what happens. It's the series of events. It's the act. It's just everything about it is good. And now we're down to the top 3. At number 3 is The Karate Kid. I love this movie just for the sole fact of the moral of the story. You know what I mean? There's things out there that, think outside the box, basically, is the way I look at this movie. I remember the very first time I saw this movie, and it threw me off completely. I was like, why is he having him? He's, I was like naive. I was like, what? He's seriously waxing or painting the fence, waxing the floor, or the car, standing the floor. Like, why is he doing all that? It makes no sense to me. And then at the end, and you're like, oh my god, he's so cool. He's so fast. And you know this is an iconic movie when they remake it and they don't even keep the same names. They don't hear Mr. Miyagi. You don't, you know, they change people's names. They keep the same idea but completely redo it. That is a movie that is never meant to be remade or done, and it's just hands down great. I could watch it over and over. So easy to watch, so much fun. Good popcorn movie. If you've never seen a Karate Kid, you're nuts. I'm sure everybody's seen it. At number 2, we all know how much I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. At number 2 is The Terminator. We all know how much I love sci-fi and robots and craziness. I love you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I remember thinking back then, because Arnold and his accent, I thought that that's like they did that robot voice until I saw him later on in other movies. But like, he actually, you know, it's not easy to play a robot, I would say, especially in those days when they didn't like have all the technology. And he like does like the walking and the, you know what I mean, like constantly. He's so good at staying in character, and on top of that, he's a badass. But the storyline, like how he comes from the future to save the world and humanity, you know, I don't know. I was always fascinated by it. I love Sarah Connor, how she's a badass in it. It never gets old. And it just led to greater movies from there. You know, we had Terminator 2. 3 wasn't bad. And the rest were just kind of there. Yeah, but like 1 and 2, man, I could watch them all day. But number 1 really opened my eyes to Arnold and showed that I remember when I first watched that movie and the funny quotes that I knew that this guy was going to be hilarious, and I'll be watching all of his movies from here on out. And I still do. Watch every movie Arnold Schwarzenegger's in, whether it's good or bad. And number 1, I think you guys know what it is. You'd have to be crazy not to know if you, I mean, I've talked about this movie numerous times. Marvel DC Fans Reviews actually got me this movie, and it is Stand By Me. Let's just say I love the cast. That's it. But I love the story because it's so realistic. There's nothing fake about it. Like, if you were a young kid, you're pre-teenagers, I guess you can see, you know, and somebody said, there's a dead body, let's go check it out. Being a boy, you would go check it out, you know? And that whole time you're thinking, like, are you gonna see this dead body? Are they gonna find the dead body? Or is it a joke? Or is it like a rumor? Things that you think about, like, you would really think about in that situation. The acting is so natural and it flows so well. The story itself, I love the narration, I mean. It is, I don't know, it's just like very necessary, even though like it's such a simple movie to follow, but like it's very, I liked at the end the narration, and they tell you where all the boys have gone and all that good stuff and like what has happened to their friendship. But I also love the power of the friendship of that movie. Like, you have the boys and they're so tight, and you could just, you know, at that age, that's all you got are your friends. You know, you're kind of like rebellious, you don't want to deal with mom and dad, they don't know nothing, blah blah blah. But friendship is everything, and movies like that I can relate to on more than one level was really good in my book. So guys, that is my top 10 favorite 80s movies. As I said before, take it with a grain of salt, because I love every 80s movie out there pretty much. I love Big, I love Scarface, I love Footloose, Flashdance. There is millions, I can go on for days, Rocky. But these were the ones that kind of really touched me most and opened up other doors for me. So as always, everybody, I really hope you enjoyed this week. I had a lot of fun dressing up as Kip Wilde. If you want to see Kip Wilde again, just let me know. He'll be back. I can make him come back for maybe a live stream. If you'd like to see Kip Wilde live, let me know. Thumbs up this video. Let me know if you guys want to see Kip Wilde live. And as always, everybody, take care. Thank you for all the love and support, and happy watching.